Okay, the second camera we have, and this is our production camera. Generally speaking, this is focused in on the pastor in the middle of the screen, so that we always have a consistent view of the pastor while he's giving his message, and that's the Canon XA20. So this operates a little bit differently than the 800s. So we'll just go over how to connect all the cabling to this, how to mount it to a tripod. You'll notice that this tripod is a little bit different. Again, it's more high quality, and we can use it to pan left and right. So if the pastor's moving left and right, this is a good quality tripod that allows us to do that. So, and instead of just having a quick clip, this type of tripod's got a slide mount. So I'm going to do all the work from the tripod, so I'm going to show you how it works. So on this side of the tripod, I'll bring it around for the light, there's a screw. You loosen up this screw. Then on this side of the tripod, there is a push button, a detent pin that will allow you to push the camera on. So you slide the tripod mount in the track, push this pin, slide the camera forward, and then it's locked in there. Let it drive forward, let go of the pin, and the last thing you want to do is you want to tighten down this screw, and this keeps the camera mounted on the tripod. Again, I don't want to lift this one up because it's a heavier tripod, but you could lift this up and it's not going anywhere. So that's how to do the tripod. Many of the same features. This has a left-right. It has the ability, this is called a ball head camera tripod, so it actually has the ability to rotate more in a circular motion. We generally keep it straight, and again, I'll show you here in a second that this has the thirds line that help us mount it, but that's the tripod. So now the camera itself, unlike the 800 cameras, this camera requires 4 connections. It has a power cable connection that will connect here. The HDMI cable will connect here at the front of the camera, and you just pull these covers off and they'll sit off to the side. And then the last 2 are audio jacks that we plug in, and this goes back to the soundboard because we also use this camera to do a recording of the service. So I'm going to pull the cables over here that we're going to use. The power cable is a round adapter, and it goes into the black circular hole here. The mini HDMI is the same as on the other cameras. It goes plugged into the front here. And then the 2 audio cables, they have 3 prongs in them, so you'll be able to just slide the prongs in, push them forward, and you'll see that they lock in. There's a pin or a clip that will lock up when I slide this AV cable in. It doesn't matter which cable you put where. Once you slide it in, it locks in, so these cables won't come out. For the service, we try to make sure that we bring the slack out of the cables so that the weight of the cables doesn't pull on the camera at all. So you'll notice that once I plugged in the power, you see that it's got a power adapter, and this is indicating, because it's red, it's indicating that it's charging the battery. Now, right now, it's not on. We'll turn it on in a minute. You'll see up here on this camera, you have a camera, off, and media, and it gives you options to how we start. But it does have the same viewfinder, so we'll open the viewfinder. Now, to turn this camera on, first and foremost, this camera has a cover. You want to remove the cover, and it's just a clip-on cover. And then we'll push this power button here to the on position, and you'll see that it comes on. And once it powers on, again, you see the same thing. You see a view of the screen. Okay, now this camera, we do record. And so what you'll do to record is it takes a regular SD card, and we use 32 and 64 gigabit SD cards. And on the right-hand side, under the viewfinder, is a enclosed cover. You raise the cover, and it has the ability to have 2 SD cards, and you can record to both cards at the same time. We, as a standard, record to 1. So you slide the SD card in, it'll lock in place, and then you have to close the cover to do any recording. So now we're set up here. Now, let me swap places with you so you can come in. So now, again, as we're looking at this camera, one of the things we'll note is Again, we can pan left and right. We can go up and down. And the other thing we can do is zoom. Now, zoom is a little bit different here. You'll see a knob of slider left and right. And if you just push forward or backward with the slider, it zooms in and zooms out. It's actually a lot smoother to control than the other ones because of the way it's built, but they work the same functionality. So the last thing for this camera that I would say is, because we do record, when we're prepared, once we get the shot lined up and we're prepared to start service, to record, there's a couple ways. I'm going to show you both. So there's a red button on top, and I'm gonna push the button. So show the camera, show the viewfinder real quick. So you'll notice right now that it's green. That means it's not recording. Once I press this button, you'll see that that circle turned to red, and you'll see the countdown timers happening. That indicates to you that the camera is currently in a record mode. So if I want to stop, I do the same thing, push this button. You have another place on the back of the camera, and a good indicator is anything red. So there's a red button here, and there's a red button here. If you push that button, you'll notice again that it starts recording. So you'll see in the viewfinder, you got the red circle. You'll see that it's working, and to stop it, you just push this button. So this is, like I said, our central camera. The other cameras are side cameras, but these are the two main cameras we'll use in our AV series.